Oh, hi. Hello. I didn't see you. Just kidding. I just wanted to hop on here real quick, do a quick video. Say happy Mother's Day to everybody. That's a mom. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And just remember, your children are a blessing. You are a blessing. And sometimes blessings hurt your feelings. Sometimes blessings are hard. Sometimes blessings are annoying. Sometimes blessings are difficult to, work with or be around, but blessings nonetheless. Yes, I'm referring to the children. However, for many of us who had children early in our lives, we too were growing up. And in many ways, we were annoying and, all of the above. So now that we're a little older, we find ourselves in more of a level playing field when it comes to actually being a parent as opposed to being a child that is parenting. And for those of you that are younger, or new parents that are learning how to parent, there's really no correct way to do it, in my opinion. You're gonna get something wrong. Trauma is inevitable. It comes in different ways, shapes, forms for everyone, I think. It's just really based on the experience that someone has. Some people are sensitive, some people aren't. I feel like as I've grown older, life has become more about how to let that stuff go and actually move on than to make it my entire existence. In many ways, people identify who they are right now because of those traumas, but at the same time, use the same trauma that, made them tough and hard and all of these things, to point to when they're the problem. And, the problem with that is, right from wrong, and you have to hold yourself accountable to your own personal actions. What somebody else did to you or didn't do to you or for you doesn't give you the right to do it to somebody else because it happened to you and that's all you know. What's right and you know what's wrong. Excuse me. It's tough, and I think as you grow older, you kind of learn that. And you understand it a little bit more, at least in my experience, with my kids. Growing up for me was hard. Hard to the point where you're in constant survival mode, and my siblings would probably agree with that. And when you grow up that way, it's hard to not look at every situation in your life and plan an escape and find a way to make sure that you're not cornered in a wall before something happens. Because as you grow up, things happen so often that you're always expecting the worst. And it's really hard to appreciate the easy or the calm because you're always expecting a storm. And even though storms will come and go, you can't let go of the fact that you're so focused on the storm that you forget to enjoy the sunshine in the moment. And I'm learning that in my life, and I'm starting to let go in many ways internally and figure out who I genuinely am, as opposed to who I was supposed to be in front or within the environment in which I was in my past. And I'm okay with simply being myself. And that part of me is different than the person that everybody knows. And I think it's important for all of us to find that within ourselves and figure out how we can be ourselves to ourselves for ourselves, as opposed to being someone else for someone else. Because if you can't be genuine with yourself, then any relationship that you're going to be in will never be genuine, because that person didn't connect with you. They connected with the person you portrayed. And that's powerful, you know. It really is, because I feel like in relationships, particularly in the beginning, you portray who you think the other person, you know, needs. I don't want to say needs to have, but like, you portray someone, you're selling yourself, you know, you're selling who you think you need to be to make that person attracted to you or like you. And then, you know, 6 months later, you're kind of falling into your actual self, and that other person realizes who you are. And then, you know, many times it doesn't end up working out, because they didn't fall in love with you. They fell in love with who you portrayed in the beginning. But I feel like, good or bad, if you start as who you are, you're less likely to have that problem 6 months, a year later, because that person legitimately fell in love with you as an individual, as opposed to someone else. But I digress. Happy Mother's Day to everyone who's a mother. And, you know, just stay blessed, you know. It sounds like the world is falling apart around us, but we have the power to live in our own world and be who we want to be, and love who we want to love, and just enjoy life as it was intended to be, in my opinion. So I hope you all have a great weekend. God bless y'all. Yeah, I'll talk to y'all soon.